All right. Well, let's get started. Good afternoon. How's everyone doing today? Oh, we can do much better than that. Come on, this is South Bay, right? How's everyone doing today? Much better. Really appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being here. Can you believe this is the last week, technically speaking, the last week of March? So what does that mean? Yeah, Q1 is done. Q2 is upon us. Are we on track? Are we behind? Or have you set your goals for this year? So we're going to be talking a little bit about mindset today. I'm going to have you watch a brief video. And also we're going to play a game as well. Okay, so I want class participation today. Are you okay playing with us today? Okay, and it's all about skill sets, mindsets, and taking the necessary actions every single day, folks. Okay, because like, trust me when I say this. Okay, Q1 being behind us, and we haven't hit our goals. We got to double up and triple up and quadruple up on the activities to see the results. Okay, because the summer's upon us, spring is upon us, right? So we need to start hammering away every single day. So thank you for being here. Let's go ahead and get started. You know how we start our team meeting here at South Bay. Next slide, please. Our mission: to provide agents with a place where they will be empowered, trained, and motivated to experience growth, wealth, and a legacy that allows them to live their best life possible. Our belief: when the values of your own company align with your own beliefs, you know you've found your professional home. Our vision: to achieve amazing professionals and personal development so that KW South Bay remains the agency of. Absolutely. Yes, thank you. All right, next slide. Let's bring Sean. Is Sean, where's Sean at? Sean. Thank you. Is Sean around? Well, she wanted to have at least a good 5 minutes to talk, but when she comes back, we also want to thank her for providing us as our food sponsor today. So if you do see her, give her a high five, and we'll just go ahead and continue when she comes back. I don't know if Sean is out there mingling, talking, but everyone knows Sean, right? She's part of the home warranty for First America. All right, let's continue. Next slide. All right, so skip this one and let's go right into Simon. To the slide for Sean, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Sean Purchase. I'm South Bay Area Manager for First American Home Warranty. And I want to talk a little bit about my favorite time of year, spring. It is regrowth. It is a time to kind of rebrand yourself. You can start over. I just love spring, not just because my birthday is in May, but I also because you bring out all of the marketing material again. So I just wanted to bring it out. I left a bunch of it on the back table. If anything, if you guys are starting to get back into the groove of things, starting to get out and about, if you have a listing, I always suggest maybe kind of door knocking that area. These ones are my favorite for that because you can kind of put your own business card in there, kind of supplement that, and then just introduce yourself, of course, if you're doing like a neighborhood open house. Again, just the typical door hangers. These two have little slots in them. One that says homes are selling in your neighborhood, I can sell yours too. And then if it's a perfect time to sell or buy it with the little hourglass. So it just depends on kind of what your market is. And then lastly, these little boxes, you can use these if you're targeting someone big or if you have a past client and you want to drop off some goodies just to kind of like touch them. I have these available. These are all free for you guys. Just let me know. I left samples in the back, so feel free to grab a few if you guys are going to be doing some door knocking, maybe just 10 a day. You know, you don't have to do a whole block. You don't have to do, 100. Just, just do a couple each day. Set the bar low and then grow. Kind of that's what I did about 8 years ago. Small story. I would just call 5 agents a day and introduce myself. It's brand new, and you just kind of like, hi, how you doing? You have an agent, and then it kind of grows from there. So these are just things that I do. I like to sell to you guys. And then lastly, March 24th, yesterday, the new buyer maps came out. So if you have a listing in like LA County, make sure to get your updated maps from your NHD companies, whoever you're using. But we do have some updated maps that were released yesterday. It'll take about a week for them to be all transferred into the system. but you can also call me for information on how to get those too. And then that's it. And then I'm happy to help if you have any questions. My cell phone number is on all of my marketing materials, so feel free to give me a call, text, email, whatever you guys need, okay?
Beautiful. Thank you very much. I like what Sean said about, starting small, but being intentional and purposeful, right? So if you're gonna go do 5, 10, 15, 20, make them purposeful, right? That you're interacting and having a realistic conversation, right? Don't just pass the flyer, but be intentional, door knock the home, introduce yourself as the local expert, right? That's gonna set the tone and you're gonna see more opportunities come from that. Make sense? All right, beautiful. Well, let's go ahead and continue. Next, we have Chris Rivera giving us an update on mortgage. I know he has a pretty interesting topic that he's gonna be talking to you. So let's give Chris a warm welcome.
Yeah. Well, let's start off with the good news, and then we'll finish with great news. How's that?
All right.
So first off, rates are behaving. They're still hovering right mid-6s. So for conforming purchase with a good FICO score 780 or above, we're at 6.5%. 30-year fixed still points. High balance jumbo money still at 6.75. 30-year fixed 0 points. FHA VAs down at 5.75. So rates are behaving. The direction of the market is still kind of going to slide towards the end of the year. Gurus are telling us that they think we're going to see 3 rate reductions this year. It's going to be more unemployment numbers. Once those start trickling up over 4.4, we will see them start to act and lower rates, which is all boding well for you guys, right? And even with rates at these elevated levels, we've seen appreciation of 4% plus over the last couple of years. So it's not stopping people from buying. So rates shouldn't be the reason why they should or should not buy. In fact, they should buy now with rates at these elevated levels, because when rates go down, they'll be able to refund. And if they get in the market today, they'll have less competition. But I know you guys know all that because we've been saying that for a long time. So that's where rates are. They're good levels. But I wanted to share today a success story. Now, Nat, can you go to the next slide? So I came here a few months ago and talked about what would happen if the appraisal came low, right? Well, I wanted to share a success story. Next slide, Nat. So what I presented to you is currently what happens is if the appraisal comes in low, you either have to do a rebuttal, right? But good luck with that, because trying to convince an appraiser who's an expert in his area that he doesn't know what he's doing, because you, the realtor, know more about it than he does, really tough to do, right? So good luck with the rebuttal. You could try to reprice, but there's only so much wiggle room you can have in pricing that will help the buyer navigate the difference between what the appraised value is and what the contract price is, right? Or you can renegotiate. Yes, you can do that. But the reality is it's hard to renegotiate depending on what the gap is. And you stand the potential of losing that client, right? Because if you don't negotiate well, it doesn't go correctly for them, or in their eyes, you could potentially lose that client. So you really want to keep the deal together if you can, right? That's the goal. You did everything you were supposed to do. You did all your marketing, you showed them homes, you got into escrow, and now the appraisal comes in low, right? You don't want to lose that transaction because of that. So what I told you is to think outside the box. Next slide, Nat. And you need to think, hey, I need to change lenders, because the current model that I was in way back, let's say just a year ago, being a mortgage banker, that was my reality. If the appraisal came in low, I really couldn't do anything about it. I could rebuttal, but good luck, right? So the deal was pretty much it. They would have to change lenders, which isn't good because you guys are starting over, right? Natalie, next. So the solution is use a broker. And that's why I became a broker. Not the only reason why I became a broker, but one of the reasons why I became a broker is because it gives me more flexibility. I now have complete control. I have a lot of different programs out there, but I'm in control. If I don't like what's happening, I can switch it and go to another lender and pivot like that. Natalie, next slide. So here's the success story. This closed last week, as a matter of fact. We got into escrow. There was a property in North Redondo, was, sale price was 2.5, right? Listing was 2.6, buyer got in at 2.5. Appraisal came back at 2.3. Problem, right? Seller didn't want to negotiate because he wanted 2.6. He entered at 2.5 and we're at 2.3 first. So what happened? Well, I had to fill the calls with the listing agent who's writing me over the appraiser. He was an appraiser here in the South Bay. The appraisal was legit. There was a tall and skinny in North Redondo, and a lot of the comps there, and there was a lot of comps, were about 2.1 to 2.2. And the appraiser brought in at 2.3. He even gave us 100,000 over the next closest comp that was a block away, right? He was doing us a favor, but still, we came in light. So what did I do? I was able to switch that, take it to another lender as a broker, get a second appraisal, that appraised at 2.325. Right? Now, what that did is help in the negotiations. Because now when you're going back to the seller, it's not in their eyes one idiot appraiser who brought it low. It's two independent appraisers giving you the same value, basically the same comps, and that negotiation was a little bit easier. Now the buyer finally agreed at 2.35, but you can see it was a win-win for the buyer and seller because I'm a broker and I'm able to switch it over. And I presented this a few months ago because what is going to happen when you guys get into a transaction and it doesn't appraise? And you're using your lender who's from a bank or from a mortgage company. You're done. You have to start over somewhere else, right? So that's the beauty of being a broker is I can pivot that. So I'm happy to say we were able to do a second appraisal. It came in, we renegotiated the offer with the seller. And I actually was able to help the buyer because the rates kind of trickled up during that period of time. I gave him rebate pricing to help offset the mortgage payment for him for 6 months. And we're going to have a refi. So the seller won, the buyer won, I won, listing agent won, buyer won. It was a win-win all the way around. So I just wanted to share that success story because it was something that for me, I really felt good about, right? Because I was able to help everyone keep it together. And look at a 2.3 purchase price. You guys do the math, what that commission check looks like, right? So that was huge for them. And I understood that. So that's what I bring to the table. It's not just rates. Yes, I have great rates as a broker, but it's the ability to make sure that your clients are able to close, because that's at the end of the day what it's all about, right? So anyway, I just wanted to share that success story with you guys. I'm really happy that the client moved in over the weekend and everybody's happy. All right.
You know, you definitely need to have a very solid lender, but it's also the agents involved have to know how to navigate that ship as well. It can be intense, it can be chaotic, and it can be very stressful. And as real estate professionals and having the ally of a good lender definitely helps navigate that as well. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna pivot a little bit into the broker update. How many have heard The Millionaire Real Estate Book by Gary Keller and Dave Jenkins and Jay Pappison? Okay, does all of you have a copy of this book? Okay, shame on you if you don't. Okay, I'm going to put a perspective on today's team meeting on understanding some of the models and systems. Okay, then I'm going to show you a quick, brief video. How many have seen the movie The Founder? Okay, The Founder. All right, The Founder is based on the McDonald's. Everyone knows McDonald's, right? The restaurant McDonald's, right? And it talks about Ray Kroc. Now, everyone believes that Ray Kroc was the founder of McDonald's, okay? But in essence, he wasn't. It was two brothers who started in Arcadia and then eventually pivoted out to Redlands and opened up the McDonald's restaurant. And their concept was, how do we create efficiency? Because remember, this was back in the 1950s, right? When you would order, park in your vehicle, and then they would come in roller skates, right, and order your food, right? Then they would go back in there and it would take sometimes 45 to an hour to get your food. If you haven't seen the movie, I highly recommend that you do. So at the time, Ray Kroc was selling milkshake shakers, these big old bulky milkshake machines. He was from back east, and eventually how he came to the west side was because of McDonald's. He was struggling and trying to sell just one machine to a restaurant. No one could see the vision and the concept. And so he called his office and talked to his receptionist, and the receptionist says, hey, we have an order of 6 milkshake machines out in the West Coast, okay? And he kind of was baffled about it. 6? I'm having a hard time just selling one. 6. So he says, well, let me double check. Give me the contact information and I'll reach out. So he goes to a payphone, okay? For most of you don't know what a payphone is. But back in the day, you put a dime or 5 cents, then you would call someone, right? So he calls, they pick up, this is McDonald's, how can I help you? Hey, my name is Ray Kroc. I'm calling just because I think we have a mistake. We have an error. But I just want to clarify that it's 6 machines you want. I think it's only 1 machine. The person on the other call is one of the brothers. She says, you know, better yet, why don't you bring 8? And he's like taken back. It's like, wait a minute, 8? So he calls his office and says, I'm going to the west side. I'm going West Coast. So from the east, he drives all the way to Brentlands, California. Okay. And that's where he sees this establishment, and everyone is in line waiting for an order. And he's waiting like, okay. And it goes super quick. It's a big line. And there's a lady in front that says, don't worry, you'll get your food pretty quick here. And then finally, he looks at the menu and places an order for a fried hamburger and a Coke. And within 30 seconds, he gets a bag. And he's taken back by that. It's like everything that I've seen back east is not efficient like this restaurant is. Okay? But I want you to start thinking big. And this is the whole purpose of this book and today's little presentation. All right, man, next slide, please. So you got to think big. Plan smart. A quick dive into 2 core concepts, and this is straight out of the Millionaire Real Estate book by Gary Keller. Next slide. Success starts with what? Success starts with what? Yeah, absolutely. It starts with the mindset, right? The body may give up, but the mind can go for a very, very long time. So think like a business owner, just as a think like a business owner, not just a salesperson. Because the concepts of the book defines and how to think like a CEO, not a salesperson. When I go into a recruiting appointment, I look at the individual as an entrepreneur. I don't see you as a salesperson because my mindset is I'm trying to create businesses for all of you. But when you change the way you look at things, things change for you. Adapt proven models instead of winging it, right? How many times have we winged in business, right? Constantly. But imagine if you had a practical map that would take you from A to Z, right? And guess what? This book here provides you with those practical models and systems. I can tell you that this book, even though it's related to us as real estate agents, the models and systems here is you can drive any type of business. If it's selling luxury watches, clothing, cars and vehicles, to build a business, not a sales agent. You all with me on that? Okay. Success begins with thinking big and bold. Next slide. Plan your income like a pro. Know your target income. We always talk about it, right? If you're jumping into our producer's mindset every day, 8 o'clock in the morning to 8:30, 30 minutes of a conversation with one of the team leaders. And at the end, on Fridays, we have a guest speaker, right? And just see how agents are driven. What sets them apart that there's consistent business with them? I was talking to two of our agents behind this wall, Pepe and Naomi, and they have 5 escrows open. They have 3 listings coming up, and they're working on 2 more listings. What sets them apart from all of us? It's the mindset. They treat business like a job. And they show up every single day. So imagine if you were to just adjust. How many times have you been to a chiropractor? What is the ultimate goal for a chiropractor to do, right? To adjust you, to relieve the pains, right? Imagine if we were to adjust your business because of the pain of not having income that you want and desired, right? Because we can fall in that rabbit hole really quick in this industry. This is the reason you have to be consistent in the things you do on a regular basis. Treat it like a job and it will take care of you. You got to reverse engineer the leads, right? Have a proven plan in action that will give you the results that you want. Appointments and conversation goals. Track your numbers weekly. Let your data drive your daily actions. Okay? Simple concepts that are straight out of the Millionaire Real Estate book. I didn't create the book. It was already created for us. We just got to follow it. And I promise you, you're going to see results. But imagine if you were to go on more and more appointments. How would your skill sets and your confidence level be? It would be up here, right? I see Josh at the back. And he goes on a lot of appointments, right? He has the confidence to go out there and have a conversation and knows what to do. Rosie as well. Goes on appointments. She already has it said of what she's going to do to ultimately get the pen to the paper, right? The listing agreement, the buyer consultation agreement, because the end goal is to do what? Close deals, open escrows, get the buyer to the finish line, get the seller to the finish line. All of the plan in action is a plan for your income, right? Because the truth of the matter is we're not paid up front, right? We don't get an advance commission, right? I'll sell your house for 1.25, $35,000. Here's the invoice. Please pay me. Doesn't work that way, right? In essence, it works backwards. We're one of the last ones to get paid. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Yeah. So that means we got to go strong to the finish line with no guarantee. No guarantee that we're going to close. And guess what? If it falls out of escrow, what happens? Go back to square one. This is the reason you want to have a solid pipeline, right? A solid pipeline that one deal falls, you at least have 3 to 4 other deals that will keep you afloat. And this is the way you got to think as an entrepreneur. The vision, understanding your profit and loss, right? Your P&L. What's coming in, what's going out, what are your expenses? Think like a CEO. Okay. Next slide. Okay, so own the vision. Follow the plan. Your business is only as strong as your mindset. Your income is only as consistent as your systems. Start small, but always think big. Let models guide you and make them your own. The beauty is they're created, but you can maneuver them, right? You can adjust them, you can tweak them. If this is not working, pivot and do something else. If that's not working, pivot and do something else. That's the beauty of what we do in real estate, right? But it's also consistency and being persistent. Persistent can go a long way than anything else. You stay persistent in your business, I promise you, you're gonna see big results. So who is in it to win? Who is in it to make 2025 their year? All of us should. Okay? As the market is changing, the rates are, getting stable. A lot of the agents are leaving the industry, so it's getting harder and harder because of low inventory. So guess who's surviving? Top performers. So you're going to go against some really experts out there. So if you're not sharpening your skill sets, it's going to be difficult for you to convert deals. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to show you a quick, brief little video from the founder. So next slide. And ultimately dominated to what it is now, $1 trillion industry. And now there's McDonald's everywhere, right? But it was a simple concept that he took. Imagine if you had that simple concept that you can take with you and run with it and build a big business from it. And now the consistent of income is coming your way, right? We're in an industry that is abundance. Respect it and it will respect you back. And this is why you have to have the knowledge and the understanding, the local trends, understanding your clients' needs and wants, and more so being efficient. Because if you're not doing it, your competitor is. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, folks, okay? And yes, I think big when it comes to growing this office and envisioning all of the amazing agents in this office to think big as well, because it helps, right? It helps with the stickiness of bringing more agents because they see something happening here. So with that, I wanted to kind of pivot into exactly what to say. If you're interested, I have a couple of these role-playing script cards, if you're interested, at a purchase of $27. Okay, and I can promise you, if you at least start practicing role-playing objection handlers, you're going to come across more professional, but more so, you're going to have that confidence to lock in that buyer, lock in that seller. Okay?
Come to my class on Wednesday.
Say again?
Come to my class on Wednesday.
And that's right. Come to the class with Eric Claudio. Don't turn the cards over, okay? So do me a favor. Get one and pass it on, but without turning the card. Don't turn the card. Leave it face down, please. Okay? The reason I'm passing out these cards is because, again, this is going to be the role-playing component to today's team meeting. Don't turn the card. If you turn the card, you're penalized and you're going to have to pay $5 to KW cares. Okay. Let me know once you have a card. Now, I'm going to pick on someone. Okay. I'm going to pick on someone, and whoever I pick, I want you to turn that card over. And when you turn that card over, I need you to repeat what it says. Okay. This is class participation, so anyone has the ability to answer whatever the question on that card is. Okay. Okay, $5 KW care, please. You turn the card over. That's you. Take responsibility to make sure she pays $5 to KW cares.
Yes.
So let's start. Turn the card and repeat what it says.
We want to wait to list our house.
We want to wait to list our house. Who wants to handle that objection? Eric, get up here. Give Eric a round of applause, please.
Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, we just figured like the market's not that good right now. It seems like it's more of a buyer's market. We want like the maximum that we can.
Okay, and Heather, this is your home that we're selling?
Yeah.
Okay, and where will you be moving to after you sell this home?
Hawaii,
Hawaii, oh, that's beautiful, what part?
Honolulu.
Honolulu, wow, so are you originally from there, or what takes you to Hawaii?
I just figured I want to be by the beach and just take it easy, retire.
Gotcha, okay, good for you, congratulations on your retirement. So how much would you like to profit from selling this house?
I want to make at least $500,000.
Okay, and what's your plan, to use all that money to buy your house in Honolulu?
Yeah,
Okay.
so I can buy it all cash.
Okay, so if we found the right property for you in Honolulu right now, where we can sell you this home and make your 500,000. I mean, there's no need to wait. Would you agree if we can get it done now?
I guess when you put it that way.
Okay, so how about I come by tomorrow at 5, so we can talk a little bit about more in detail, and I'll bring some Honolulu homes for you to check out. Does that sound fair?
That sounds good.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you, Heather. Okay. Let's pick one. Someone.
Someone's been in my class and has been participating. Where's Dana? Dana's been very active.
All right, flip the card.
We have to sell our house first.
We have to sell our house first. Okay, who wants to take on that objection?
Not everybody at the same time.
Yeah.
There's a room for the realtors here.
Okay, Eric, take it away. What would you say on that?
Can you say it again?
We have to sell our house first.
Before you buy your next house, is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay, gotcha, and I agree. So what you're saying, Dana, is that you need all the profits from this sale to buy your next one?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. So where would you like to buy your replacement home?
San Diego,
Okay, San Diego's beautiful. What takes you there?
surf,
Surfing? Oh, okay. Have been surfing for a long time or?
yeah, a long time,
Ah.
at least 15 years.
Great. My son's actually just getting into surfing now. So yes, maybe we'll take some pointers from you.
Yeah.
But you know, the way this works, Dana, is we have two options. I have my buy before you sell program, or we can sell your property with a contingency. So that way we make sure that both deals close at the same time. Have you ever heard of these strategies?
No, never.
That's,
Tell me more.
yeah, that's exactly why I think we need to meet in person. Because there's a lot on these two options, and I'd love to explain it to you from step 1 to step 10 in detail in person. So are you available tomorrow at 5?
Actually, let me check. Yeah, 5 is great.
Okay, I'll see you then.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds good, thank you.
Awesome. Beautiful. Good job. All right, let's get someone else. Karina. No, not yet. You're stuck up there. Doing good. Yeah. All right, Karina, tell us what your card says.
What if we find the buyer?
Good question. What if we find the buyer? Okay, anyone want to answer that? We have a lot of
Diana's giggly right there. I think
experienced agents here.
Diana looks very giggly. I think she wants to participate.
I'll participate if I could pay back my $5.
So what I'll do is, I'll split it 50-50. You pay $2.50. All right, so handle that objection.
Say it again, what was it?
Yeah.
What if we find the buyer?
What if we find the buyer?
What's your name?
Karina,
Karina.
You should get in front of the class.
come here, come up here.
Oh, okay, Karina, what makes you say that?
Well, I just feel like if we're the ones that did the work and found the buyer,
there's not as much work that, you would be doing, so we just wanted to find out what she would do in that case. Before we sign.
Got it, okay, so it sounds like if you brought the buyer, and since you're bringing the buyer, you would be doing the majority of the work. You would like to talk about how that would look like, right?
Yeah, just basically, just had the thought, the main reason to hire an agent is so that you have the right buyer in front of you, but we just happen to be upon the buyer, what would happen.
Okay, and I completely understand, and Karina, trust me, I believe that if you started marketing, you could bring your own buyer. I would totally be open to that. Now, I'm just wondering, and I would like to see how open you would be to me showing you a way how we could take that into consideration, but also how I can market your property and bring you top dollar. And you don't have to worry about looking for a buyer or marketing yourself, but I would be doing all the work and making it smooth.
All right, stop.
For you.
Stop, okay. All right, I'm gonna pivot a little bit. I'm gonna help you with this one, okay? How many times do you think a seller is really truly gonna find their own buyer?
Never.
Okay, give it to them. Give it to them. So I would say not a problem. We'll put a stipulation on the agreement that if you find a buyer, then, we'll work a structured deal. Instead of paying me 3%, we'll do 1% if you bring the buyer, or 1.5% or 2%. You still want to collect a commission, okay? Work with them, try to find a negotiating tool for that. Because the likelihood that she or they are gonna find the buyer, then you can go into the risk factors, right? It's better for me to handle all of that. I understand that you find, but I still have a lot of work to do. Because we still got to vet for the buyer, make sure that they qualify, that they have the proof of funds and all that fun stuff, right? So I would kind of navigate it that way. Good job. Let's give her a round of applause. Let's go with Rosie. Flip your card, Rosie.
Call me in a few weeks.
Call me in a few weeks. Okay, who wants to handle that objection? Really quiet in here. Are we shy? Hey, you can be, and Josh, I mistakes here. Josh, thank you, my man.
I on most of these, I would just say, okay. I want to sell my house first.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Let's list it.
Well,
Yeah, not really an objection, not really.
yeah,
Same with the one we just did, you want to find your own buyer, great. We'll adjust the fee accordingly. Okay, let's list.
yeah.
These are like people at the table.
Right.
So you're missing the whole point, and thank you, Josh, for sharing that, because you're thinking too much into the question. Rapid fire, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, please look at the big picture on this. Yeah, we want to memorize, and you're thinking, okay, how do I, don't think too much into it, just go rapid fire on it, just like Josh says, and just like Eric. And it's just going through the motions. That's great, not a problem. When is a good time next week to call you? Monday or Tuesday, 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock?
No.
Okay? All right, I'm still gonna be consistent until you say, you know what, I'm sorry, but I'm just not a problem. I'll put you in my database, and then I'll check in with you in a couple months.
Right, I find that ultimately people want to work with people that are polite and cordial and are treated with respect, like you would want to be treated with. So it's not like you're like, why don't we meet now? Oh my God, I want to meet now. I mean, times, who knows what that person is dealing with. So, if you treat them with respect, they'll treat you with respect most of the time.
Right. Okay, awesome, thank you. Go ahead and flip your card.
We're thinking about renting our house instead of selling it.
Ooh. We're thinking about renting our house instead of selling. How do we handle that objection?
Yeah, let me handle that one.
Who's that? Oh, good, come up here real quick. Let's give him a round of applause.
I'm the 10 from hell. With extra lipstick.
Cause the wife just went to, the dollar store and bought some extra lipstick for the kids. So. Renting is a big liability. Because after you rent it, you're going to have to prepare it in shape to sell again. So you could spend, you want to get top dollar for your house, now you're talking about remodeling or cleaning your house up to prepare it for sale. Because you're going to hand an asset over to a renter who probably has kids, dogs, and everything else. The dog's nails are going to scratch the laminate hardwood floors. The kids are going to destroy the walls. I don't know about your kids, but my kids, I didn't even know it. He unscrewed the outlet and saved pennies in there. When my house was gonna catch on fire or when he was going to get electrocuted, it was just a matter of time, but so we actually found it because it was behind a bunch of stuff. So there's a lot of
All right,
liability.
stop. Good job. Okay, we got the point. We got the point. Yes, sir.
That was good. I think for all these questions, I think the right way to handle them all is to say why. Why?
That's
Why
right.
do you want to rent your house
Yeah.
versus sell your house? And then you find out,
Yeah,
we
that's
can
right.
role play and you can come up with some hypothetical, but you can't answer the question until we know maybe
But-
a good reason why he wants to rent it, and you
That's
say
right.
that sounds awesome.
That's right. It's the big W, right? Why? Tell me more, or tell me more. Tell me more of what the reason behind that, right? Because you want to have those embedded commands where you're asking questions and you're getting answers to kind of maneuver that conversation to alter and how you're going to approach the closing, right?
Right.
Close up.
You can still get a check, a smaller check, if he wants to lease it, and you can handle the leasing for him,
100%.
and then sell it down the road.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Matt, with the card, please.
Bring me a buyer and we can talk.
Yeah. And we can talk. And I want to answer that objection.
Famous last words of for sale by owner.
Those are, yeah, those are FSBOs, right? Those are expired, expired listings sometimes. Well, I don't wanna say I tried it, it didn't sell, but, if you bring me a buyer, I'll consider, right? All right, so what would you do in that scenario? Yes, Brett, please, let's give Brett a round of applause.
Okay, great. How much are you looking to get off your property?
I'm looking to get anywhere between an extra 300,000 off of it. I'm looking to sell it for like 1.5 million though.
Okay, great. Have you checked to see how much it's the value is currently?
Actually, I have not. I do know that my neighbor down the street, he sold his home for 1.43 million. Mine is a little bit more updated, so I'm thinking mine should be at least worth 1.5.
Oh, okay. Can I come by to look at your property so that I can see what we're working with?
Can you bring me a buyer? I mean, I've been on the market before. And
Yeah, but you see, I won't be able to know what my buyers are gonna look for unless I actually see it. I'm not gonna hold you to anything. I just wanna be able to see it and see what's available, see the upgrades that you have so that I can share it with my buyers.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, now just to give you a brief, is it possible, because I know you're looking for that and I do want to work with some buyers with you. Is it possible that when I come by, I can take some pictures so that I can put it on my social media so that I can share with my buyers?
I'd have to talk to my wife about that.
Well,
Let's see, be comfortable with that.
it's no obligation.
Yeah.
It's just be able to give me the ability to spread it out to all of my buyers that I'm working with without any obligation on your part.
All right, yeah, I'm still a little nervous about, my house being shown, just yet, we're not for sale, so,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So it's 5 or 6 available for you.
You can come by maybe around 5 o'clock, that's fine.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, I'll see you then.
Okay.
All right, awesome, thank you. I would probably throw in this, if I bring you an offer that hits all of the parameters of what you're looking for, price, terms and conditions, would it be a conversational piece to talk? Sometimes just a blind offer. You may have a buyer that's looking to move in this neighborhood. Go with emotions. You can always put subject to interior inspections, right? Think outside the box. Just try to get that offer in, right? And obviously, once you do is then we could talk about compensation, right? Commissions and all that, because it's not a listing, but it's what we call a single party compensation agreement that if I bring you a buyer, you'll consider, and if we open escrow, then I should be paid a commission. And the beauty is you can negotiate that from the buyer and the seller. Make sense? All right, we'll do one more. Who wants to volunteer? One more. Okay, all right, please. Yes. Flip the card, please.
I'm Marielle, by the way.
Ariel, yes.
Why do I need an agent if I'm buying new construction?
Why do I need an agent if I'm buying new construction? That's a good one. I haven't heard that one. Because usually new constructions have their own.
Yeah, they have their own agent.
Yeah.
In the office.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a really
They
good
have a
one.
different form. New construction sometimes not use the CAR form, so you need to be consulted properly on the contract. And if you're buying it from the builder, you're not gonna get all the good ins and outs of the contract from him, because he wants to sell you his home on his contract, not the CAR. So your other agent would be able to read that contract and give you consultation on the contract. That's your safety net.
Yeah. And the beauty is they typically, the buyer doesn't pay, usually the new construction company does, so. You just want to have a second eyes to help and support, and I will be here, navigating that with you as well. That's why you want to have a realtor. Because sometimes, not all, but sometimes representatives that work for development companies or new constructions are not realtors. They're just
Those play
salespeople.
down Melrose too.
Yeah.
They play it down like it's an extra HOA fee. They
Right.
don't really tell you the details. They just say there's 2 HOA fees, but I mean, we sold properties before that that they actually let go because of Melrose.
Right.
So Melrose and all these details, depending on where the new construction is, a big factor as far as.
Got it. Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Would it be correct to kind of read it this way? Well, yes, I understand that, you're not looking for an agent because we're looking at a new construction. However, what if you look at it and you change your mind and then we need to look at different things? Like I can assist you with going further with your home search where the new construction agent cannot because they are bound to the company that they're working with, where I could be your agent wherever we need to look.
100%. These are all great objections. There's nothing wrong or bad from it. It's just having conversation because the goal is to get them to sign an agreement with you or at least to have that representation, right? So yeah, spot on that. Someone else have a question? Yes.
Another question, I was just gonna comment, I had a family member that bought, a home, like that, and they read their back and down in the back, they had a $50,000 balloon payment. And she caught it, but in her neighborhood, there were about 4 people that didn't realize it. And the balloon payment came and they didn't know, and then they didn't have time, and weren't able to find it, and lost their homes because of it.
Yeah, interesting. Good. All right. So what was your take on this? Was this a good exercise?
Yes.
It gives you a reminder, right? The importance of understanding quick objections, right? Don't think too much into it, just kind of rapid fire on it. This is where, the skill sets is necessary, as I was talking to you about the millionaire real estate as the video itself. So thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Tell me about the land.
Exercise as well. Next slide, please. All right, upcoming events. Tomorrow. So please be flipping the pancakes, okay? I got 2 widows here, so if you, this person, I know Josh is. We can, we're gonna have a good time tomorrow here in the training room. I usually sit by Chris's office, and I'll be flipping. I'll have blueberries as well. So yeah, please take advantage of it. Come on down. Talk to your peers and all that fun stuff. Next slide, please. A quick reminder, tomorrow, contracts Q&A with Steve Gottlieb, the importance of, having a conversation with a seasoned experienced broker, he's very knowledgeable and is willing to give you some perspectives and improve the confidence that we all need, right? So please take advantage of Steve's contract Q&A. Next slide. It was like pulling teeth, but I got Arrogana to do this for me. Yeah. Now, he's the true trooper, and he stepped up to the plate. So he's going to be my guest this Friday, 8 o'clock, Producer's Mindset. We're going to be having it here. If you want to come in person, but everything is all broadcast on Zoom. So this Friday, 8 o'clock in the morning, please listen to his story. He's a phenomenal and a true professional. All right, next slide.
You never age.
He never ages, yeah, that's. I've been getting a lot of questions regarding rent spree and your business, okay? So I'm gonna dive deep into this, especially if you're working with tenants or landlords. This is a free tool that you can use to do credit screening, eviction, backgrounds, and all that fun stuff, okay? So I'll be diving deep this Friday, 10:30 to 11:30, okay? Next slide. And this one is going to be great. This is Monday, March 31st here. He is coming live and in person here to the office. Richard Chung, the science of sales. Okay, we've been broadcasting, sending you guys emails. Please, I want a full house here. Food is going to be sponsored as well. So make sure you get here early. This is Monday, March 31st, 11 a.m. in person. Okay, next slide. And that concludes our team meeting. Thank you, everyone.